Is that all you got, my lizard boys? I summon the power of the elemental gyroscope. Have it. Hello, everybody. My name's James. This is Dark Nemesis, Infinite Quest. It's another one of them MMO things. It came out a week or two ago. iPhone, iPad, Android. And I'm just playing through the earlier stages of it to see how, if at all, it differs from all the other MMOs that are currently available on this thing. Because there's a lot of them, and they kind of all fall into very much of a pattern these days. So rather than attacking the beasties, I'm going to go for the actual red glowy summoning bits, because hopefully we can take out this portal and get rid of the goons. I've got a bunch of powers in the lower right hand side, as you can see. My main attack, I've got those 3 blue attacks with cooldown timers. I've even got the ability to summon a spirit, which is a large panthery beastie, which I can wander around on the back of as a mount, or I can just send it off and go, oi, sick 'em! And it goes and attacks other people, which is lovely. This is an MMO, so we've got, as well as the open world roamy business, we've got quite a solid structural plot thing going on, where I'm being guided, as you can see, bit by bit across the land in a linear direction, more linear than most of the MMOs I've encountered so far. And as you can see, we start off with our mount, and if I press the button at the top of that little cluster at the bottom of the screen, then I'll send it off to go and munch folks if I need to. The reason these all kind of blend into a sort of the same thing for me now is we've all decided that this slightly slick looking metallic fantasy, I'm going to call it metallic fantasy because that's what it feels like to me, where it's like, it's not quite old fashioned, J.R. Tolkien, hobbits and dwarves and that, but it's still, magic and all that business, but it's got this slightly, somewhat shiny futuristic element. It's almost here like we're wandering around Asgard. They've even got a rainbow bridge, like what your man Thor runs across. But it's not like it's giving me huge, ooh, this is a brand new universe I've never seen before vibes. It feels like another one of these. And I want to be clear that it's not actually doing anything wrong at the moment. So the combat stuff is very simple. You sort of can automatically lock onto enemies as you start firing stuff. Or you do actual things like this, where you can see that lassie was going to send out a nasty charge beam. I need to get out of the way. So there is involvement. It's not completely auto-attack. Run, 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 move, 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 move. Thank you. You are engaged somewhat in the combat, and you can choose when and where to launch the special attacks, which gives you a little bit of agency, which is good. My character's flying around, by the way, because she's Magi class, and that's what they do. They kind of hover in the air. I'm going to send in my... Ooh, new skill unlocked. Send in the mount. Go on. Go, 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 go. There you go, it rocketed off into the distance and gave me the juice I needed to take out the big winged demon. Like, clearly, a bunch of time has been spent on the visuals here. It looks very nice. Audio is fine. Character art is nice, although obviously leans into the standard, big-chested woman thing, because these games tend to do that a lot as well. The upgrading stuff is where I have my big question mark, and as I try to do, I've done a little bit of research and read around and find out what's going on, and I think it has a fairly brutal paywall it hits at some point. People have acknowledged that it's kind of like, yes, you hit a point and it goes pay to win. And that's standard for these things, which again, feels familiar. I've yet to see an area in which this game, or indeed any game recently, is doing something really new or impressive. Which is not to say that all these games have to. Like, the idea of successful games always having to be massively unique, like, I like that. It's great when you see something new, but the bottom line is new is really hard. Especially, new is really difficult to get right and make successful. If you do something new and weird and quirky and clever, people go, ooh, but it almost certainly won't be this big, gigantic success because people will be weirded out by it. New is scary. New is unusual. New means bit of a risk, bit of a gamble. Not necessarily going to make its money back. Studio folds, no more games. Which is why people lean into familiar genres and tropes and ideas that have proved successful in the past. Look, Rainbow Bridge. Like out that Thor. So, whenever we're kind of criticizing things for saying, oh, this is the same thing we've seen a million times and we're very bored by it, there is an element of cynicism at play sometimes here where people are just doing it to make a quick buck, but there is also this problem where people want to make a game, but they also need to be able to have people download it and spend money on it, or it all goes wrong. And that's tricky to do when you have a clever, genius new idea that everyone's a bit like, I don't recognize this. This makes me feel scared. I don't want to play it. I'm going to download something that I like and makes me feel familiar. It's like, you know the Dark Souls thing, right? So we've got Elden Ring, which I've been playing and really, really loving, right? And they keep referring to it as a new franchise in the universe. And it's like, it is, but it's also very much a Souls-born game. It's a sequel to one of those things. It's the same game, but it's just on an open world scenario, which is brilliant and makes it different. But you know, they just take everything and go, well, now it's, you know, shards instead of this, and now it's ashes instead of this. And it's like, it's the same stuff. We all know, we pick it up, we immediately know how to play it. It's the same kind of game. So even them, with their interesting niche cleverness, they are falling back onto the same kind of formulas and just giving it a different name and putting it in a slightly different universe and lore. And with stuff like this, when you come to MMOs, they're quite a lot of maintenance, obviously. Online games always require this time where you have to spend. They're always online, they constantly need to be upgraded, and yada, yada, yada. So you need to make sure that people get hooked very quickly. And the easiest way to do that is make sure it feels like a thing they played before. So they pick it up, immediately start playing, go, oh, I'm really good at this. I'm getting lovely rewards off the back of playing it. And that's what this is doing. Well, like, it's a nice look. I picked it up. I feel like I've got more control over the combat than some of them would do. The powers are nice. Like, all this is very satisfying and kind of... It's nice to see the powers go off. I'm dodging, as you can see, which is also satisfying because I'm not just standing there hitting 1, 2, 3 on the numpad, you know, to launch my attacks. I feel like I'm vaguely engaged. And so it's actually doing quite well. Let's do this big mega attack. Go on, summon the Uber Beastie. Nice, that was good. My master will avenge me. No, he won't. I munched you into the ground. So, Dark Nemesis Infinite Quest then, it's doing the thing it's doing perfectly fine. I am not going to be playing it much longer. If you are really into your MMOs, and you want something which is the same but new, you know what I mean, then by all means. Which is the most lukewarm thing to say about a game ever, but still, you can download it right now. Dark Nemesis Infinite Quest. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.
This video is brought to you by Aerial Knights Never Yield, an endless runner set in a Tokyo-inspired future Detroit. Take control of Wally as you run, jump, slide, and dash to outrun your enemies and uncover the truth that's been stolen from you. The mobile version features all new modes, music, and levels, and is out right now on iOS and Android. Pay your respect, made for the crown, they came for the check. Come correct whenever you